Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is Sunday morning, time for my weekly video, and this is a busy week of video stuff. How is everybody? Good, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Alright, we've got a whole lot going on this week. We've got Stash, which you probably saw from the video I posted a couple of days ago. But you'll actually get more in-depth look at things, because I always just try to breeze through it when we're doing those. So we've got that, we've got whips, we've got, I'm sure, some Q&A, we've got Countdown to Halloween Stitchy Box.
Ooh.
Day 1 and day 2. And, yeah, there we go. Alright, so we'll dive in with the questions. Not so much a question as it is comment. Half-price books, for those of you fortunate enough to have one in the area, look in the craft section. That's where I find Stitch stuff. And also look in magazines, because a lot of times you can get old issues of cross-stitch magazines. If you don't have half-price books, I assume most local used bookstores, that's probably where they'll stash stuff like that. So, alright. Lauren Laney says that she would like to see Scream House to be let out of the timeout box. That's one I'm actually going to bring out. It's going to be in, because there's a couple of the ones that I've got that are in timeout that I'm going to bring out in the new year. And that's one of them, because I'm so close to finishing. So, or at least finishing all the stitching. So, it's coming back, though. Let's see. Arlene asks, where is that half-price books located? That one is the one that's by Six Flags and AT&T Stadium. And Donna asked, did Kate and I fight? No, not really. Our tastes are dissimilar enough that it was a pretty easygoing. Let's see. Momala Stitches asks, do you watch a lot of FlossTube? If so, what are your favorite bits? Whip updates, haul, or rambling? I don't watch as much as I used to. I personally am pretty much good with anything. I mean, it's whatever you want to do. I'm not as big a fan of the ones that are just you talking while stitching. But really, I'm good with any of it. Christy Donay asks, if I have my nails done. No, this is actually just how they grow naturally. Let's see, Stephanie Toralva Burnson asks, first, what got me started on Wizard of Oz? And that was when I was right around the time of the 50th anniversary, so like late 89, early 90. My mom, we would go to the grocery store, and it was one of those that had a video rental, and I always wanted to rent The Little Mermaid, even though we owned it, and she decided one day that she was going to pick up this other movie, and she was like, you'll like this, and I think, frankly, she was tired of paying money to buy The Little Mermaid when we already owned it. Can't fathom why. And she, so we picked up The Wizard of Oz, and of course it starts in black and, at that time it started black and white. They've restored the sepia sense. And I was just like, I'm bored, and then that tornado hit, and that was the end of the story for me. I was off, I was completely hooked, and that was really all it took, was just seeing the movie one time at just the right age. So, there you go. I wish I could say it was something more like, oh, no, it was quite literally just my mom was tired of renting The Little Mermaid. Yes, I have been to Stitch Niche. That's my LNS. and they didn't really reopen so much as they just took over, and the store was just temporarily closed while they did all of that. So yes, that's actually where I was Friday. Someone who's got a Russian name, but is from Ireland, so I'm not going to attempt to try that one, says, I watched many of your videos and didn't see you stitch anything like Dimensions or Janlin, Busilla, Hade, or other big designs. Why don't I stitch those? Primarily, I just don't enjoy them. I don't enjoy full coverage pieces. They cause me a lot of anxiety. I don't enjoy them. I think they're beautiful. I think the people who can do them, more power to you. But it's just not my cup of tea. Kelly Bell Stitches is excited to see what's in the countdown to Halloween, and wondering who had to sit and wrap them all. I believe it was Liz. Possibly her husband helped her, but I think it was mostly Liz. The Swept Away Stitcher wants to know the name of the fabric I'm using for Hocus Pocus. That is Demeter's Harvest. It's by Die Stitch Love. A lot of people echoed my desire for Narnia, and I believe Pedal Pusher said she was brewing up an idea. Andrea Storms asks, how do stitch-alongs work? Are the patterns free or paid for? If it's paid, is it like a one-time purchase or for each part? I'm assuming they're all 12-month things, once a month, or is it more like once every 2 weeks, or are they all different? Short answer, they're all different. Generally, the stitch-alongs aren't free, and it depends really on what you're talking about. When it's one like Lizzie Kate, or Tempting Tangles, or By the Bay, those are not free. Those are more mystery samplers, because you don't know what's coming. Some of them you can just pay all at once for. Frosted Pumpkin, Cloud's Factory, the Tempting Tangles, Welcome Sal. Those are all, Pedal Pushers, Oz Sal, those were all you pay once, you get all the parts. The ones like Lizzie Kate, or the Ship's Harbor, or Serenity Harbor from By the Bay Needleworks, those are per part. You pay for each part. They are not all 12 months things. Some of them are 2 month. Some of them are 12 month. The Welcome Sal is going to be like an 8 month. It's sort of just set by the designer. So the ones that are made by designers, that's those. Then you have the Facebook groups and FlossTube and Instagram where we do other stitch-alongs, and that's more what the actual stitch-along is, because what it is it's generally grouped around a theme. Sometimes it is a specific pattern or a specific designer. For instance, in Stitch Mania, this year we had a Chatelaine year-long stitch-along where it was just any Chatelaine qualified for that stitch-along. We did the Brooks Books one. I'm doing one Brooks character, Oz character a month. So, but then we also have, like, this month's theme, I think is BAPs and Smalls, We Love Them All. You can work on a BAP, aka Big Ass Project, or a small. So that's, it sort of depends. Some groups are very strict about their rules. Okay, you're going to stitch on a Halloween piece. You can only stitch on a Halloween piece. This is the time frame for the Sal, and you're only supposed to work on this during it. Others, like my group, we just really want to enjoy the stitching, and so we're throwing loose themes together. So if you can make it fit, and you only want to work on it one day, hey, you participated in the Sal. So it really depends on the group, the designer. So yes, they're all different. Linda Bazarski, yes, we did do a video. McKenna at Every Stitch Counts says, if day 5 is a tampon, well, you need to be given a new gift you can actually use. Actually, I have it on very good faith that they are very good for blotting lipstick. She also wants to know what my most prized Oz piece in my whole collection is. That's a tough question. It's probably, and I'm not going to go grab it because it's fragile. And they're in a box somewhere put away because they just don't look nice. But my favorite things are, at the 50th anniversary, there were these storybook play sets, and they looked like little books. And you opened it up, there was one for each of the main characters, there were 6 of them. And it had a little fold-out flooring, and it was decorated like either where Dorothy met them, or, in the witch's case, the witch's castle. And it came with a little action figure, and a flower, and either a munchkin, or in the witch's case, a flying monkey, and then a couple of small props. And I loved those things. So it's a toss between that or the wonderful cutouts of Oz, which will actually be shown later because they kind of fall under the paper doll category. And they'll get a story with that then. Let's see. Solar Stitchers asks, how do you store your collection of floss? Box, bobbins, bags, kind of a combination. I have, I store all of my DMC on bobbins and floss boxes. And they're specifically just DMC. I have a floss box that has my Moe's Sale, my DMC light effects, and what I call my miscellaneous, which are the ones that I've got 1 or 2 skeins, and they could go on bobbins, but I don't really have enough. I have another box also of miscellaneous, but it's primarily Dinky Dyes and Karen Collection. Then I store any of my specialty flosses that are, I store all my Kreinik in a box on bobbins. And then I store in my, in bags, my Gentle Arts, my Classic Colorworks, anything that's pre-cut that can't be put on a bobbin goes there. All of my Dragonfly Lotus is on there, because while it's not pre-cut, it doesn't bobbinate well. So it's a combination. Amy M121 asks, apart from the Storytime sampler, is there anything you have finished which you would stitch again? Is there anything you wouldn't stitch again, and why? I would not stitch Patchwork Pin Keep again. No. There really isn't anything. I'm not really a big repeat stitcher. I would like to do Once Upon a Time actually all the way through. But the big problem is I really hate the Snow White block. And that trips me up every time. But yeah, I'm not a big repeat stitcher. Charferone asks if she missed a video with my P.O. box. No, I'm not going to give that out over YouTube, but you can message me on Facebook. And that will be just fine. Alright. So that's all the Q&A. Let's get into haul. We'll start actually with the Countdown to Halloween box. Day 1 was this actually really, really cute spider needle minder. It's the Autumnal Widow Needle Minder. And she writes, you are going to be doing lots of stitching this month, so I thought we'd start off with an exclusive needle minder only available in this shipment. If you see another Autumnal Widow in the wild, you know you are seated next to a fellow Halloween fan. And I'm going to do a live unboxing of Day 2, which is probably, honestly, what I will do every video. Whatever is ready to be opened, I'll just open here. So I know Katie said she really liked this one. So I'm not sure what it is. Oh, it's Floss. It's Floss. It's a limited edition Gentle Arts. Got sort of gold with sort of a reddish brown. Let's see, does that help any? Yeah, there we go. Oh, this is actually going to be useful. Alright, and let's see what this says. Pale Harvest is the name of this. I don't have a pen, so I'm not going to be able to write that. It wouldn't be a Stitchy box shipment without an exclusive limited edition colorway from Gentle Arts. I selected this one for our countdown box, as I think it'd be great in any autumn or Halloween project. Yes, you are correct, Liz. That's gorgeous. Very nice. So that's day 1 and day 2. Alright, so we're going to start with my Stitch Knit haul and work my way across. Set you there. Okay, so pattern-wise, I got Lizzie Kate's Spooked. And I think I'm going to be doing it on a 36 count, and I've actually got a couple 36 counts to choose from. So I only bought 1 skein of floss for it, and I only bought the colors I didn't have. So I got Coal, Flatfish, which is sort of a brown, Sweet Potato, which I did have, but I didn't know how much I had, so I thought I might as well just go ahead and do it. Cadet, which is much more blue in person than it's showing here. And Citronella, which is much more green than it's showing here. It does call for Marmalade. That was their special color. Depending on when I actually start this, I'll either sub something from my collection. It really actually looks a lot like Carrot, or Daylily. So I may substitute, or I may do, if I start it late enough, it may already be available to everybody. So, got those. Then I bought Holly and Hearts, because I like Holly and Hearts. I'm just not a big fan of the colors that it was charted in, and it may just be that the colors it's charted in on that fabric, but it's kind of light, and I want something that's a little more intense than that, I think. So, but it says in the middle, I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all year through. And then I got this beauty. This is a Plum Street. Lord knows when I'll start it. This one's actually going to be done on 40 count because it's designed to be finished in this box, or in this little sewing cabinet. And the sewing cabinet is from Lone Elm Lane. And I was like, oh, that's pretty. And I wondered how much it was going to be. Just a measly $248. You know, not too expensive. I shall be saving up for that. And I got all of the classic color works that was called for. So I got Tennessee Red Clay, Cobbled Peach, Cappuccino, which is much more purple in person. It's actually showing up brown like Cappuccino should be. Antique Lace, and Pebble Beach. And then I additionally bought for that one Cinderella pattern, Chocolate Cream Pie, which again is much more purple than it's showing here. And then because it was pretty, Sunshine Girl. It's bright yellow. And then I also bought the beads for Bernadette, but they're already put away, so you're not going to see those. Alright, so then I got my fabric from Hand Dyed Fibers on Etsy. They're all fat quarters. They were $6.50 a piece. They're not serged, so I'm going to have to take them to my LNS to get them serged, but I got 4 colors. This one's called Queenstones, and it's a lot more pink than it's showing in person. Lilac Mist, which is much more purple than it's showing up. This is Earth Stars, and this may actually be what I do both Spooked and the other one on. And then this is called Light Cerveza. And it's a little more orange than it's showing in person. And then this was just a 40 count sample, and it's a fat 16th. Or 32nd, maybe. It's either a 16th or a 32nd. So, I got those. They shipped very, very quickly. Oh, whoops. I forgot there were other things I got at Stitchy. I got some Krynics. I got these two for national parks. Because I have a silver that I'll use for the Old Faithful spray. But that's for the lava, and that's for the sun. And then I got these four just because. It's a pink, a blue, a green, and a purple. I mostly got the purple because I don't have all that many in the way of purples. So. Oh, itchy face. Excuse me. Alright. So, there's those. Then we went to... What's this? There's something else in that. Oh, no, it's just... It's saran wrap. Never mind. Alright. Then we went to Stitchy. Or, not to Stitchy. Excuse me. To, Half Price Books. And I picked up a whole bunch of patterns. I got this one. It's a Leisure Arts called Three's Company. And I got it because that one up there, my mother actually has hanging in her bathroom, and it's her favorite cross-stitch piece. And since she doesn't have the chart anymore, I thought, you know what, I'm going to get this and keep it for me, because I'm a sentimentalist. So... and then I got this Paddington Bear book. I got a bunch of Beatrix Potter. This one is The Story of a Fierce Bad Rabbit. Beatrix Potter Alphabet. I'd like to find the actual Tale of Peter Rabbit one. Peter Rabbit ABCs. This one is, these two are birth samplers, so God knows when the hell these would be done. But there's Storybook Sampler 1. And Storybook Sampler 2. Then I got the Jenny Thompson Favorite Illustrations from Children's Classics and Counted Cross Stitch. And it includes the Oz Gang and the Alice in Wonderland. Although slightly disappointedly, there's this chart that's Dorothy and the Emerald City. Dorothy and Toto at the Emerald City, and it's got the Wizard's balloon. And they're like, make a bell pull out of this. And it's like, oh, that would be fabulous. See, it's even pictured on the cover. They don't give you layout. So I'll have to figure out layout for it. But I do think that's something I will eventually do. And then I got Guard This Keep from Dragon Dreams. And it's actually signed by the designer. And then Floral Bell Pull from Teresa Winsler, also signed by the designer. Plain Weaves from Swigert. And this one I always see it advertised in the mid-90s magazines, so I felt like since they had it, I should get it, because I think it's cool. I don't know when the hell I'll actually do. That's my goal next year, is to do some of the Hardanger ones. Prairie Schooler, Prairie Garden. I like flowers. This is Generosity by the Drawn Thread, and it's a little bit dark. It's it's got a lot of lambs and such. And it's, little lamb, my gentle friend, gives up his coats as snow begins to make my mittens, scarf, and hat, and I stay warm because of that. And the mittens, scarf, and hat all go on a snowman. And there's actually a shaved little sheep there. So it's a little dark, but I like it. So, and then Just Nan's Gingham Christmas, which I guess is meant to be done on the gingham fabric. So it's a band sampler, but there it is. It's got Santas and a house. So I've never actually done a band sampler, and I've got a couple to choose from. Alright, I got this one. This one's from Lynn Nicoletti, and it's the Velveteen Rabbit, and it's just beautiful. And it came with its little bit embellishments. So there it is. And then I got Angel Hair Garden from Full Circle Designs. It's another band sampler, but it's Eastery. Alright. So that was all of my haul. Like I said, I had a very haul-horrific week. Okay. So we have a finish. Presenting Miss Bernadette Peters by Brooks Books. So there she is. I will eventually get her cut out and probably turned into a magnet. So, yeah. There we go. Good old Bernadette. Alright, so whip-wise, we will start... I guess we'll go ahead and do... This week is... I'm working on The Wicked Witch from Brooks Books. That's where I'm at on it right now. I'm using Raven from Gentle Arts for her. And that's the only, I'm using a Krynic substitution for all the metallics. But that's the only actual, change. So, she's a lot of black. And then obviously after this I'll do Magical Creatures. The last part of Petal Pusher's Oz Sal came out, and it's beautiful. And that'll probably be what I go to after Magical Creatures. So, but moving along, Welcome Sal has been made into an every 2 weeks part, so that helps. And I finished that up Monday morning. So here's parts 1 and part 2. So, I'm liking it. I'm really excited to see what's coming next. So this will actually end in April, I believe. Alright, I worked on Longfellow's Round Tower this week. And I actually got the tower completed, so I've just got the clouds left, and then I'll have a page finish. So I'm going to finish up the clouds sometime in October. But there we go. It's a really quick stitch. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the detail. It's a really quick stitch. There is a lot that was over one, like that flower bush up on the top window. So it did take a little while, but that back stitch just really makes it pop. So, but I'm really enjoying it. So like I said, I've got clouds left to do. And then we'll move to page 2. So in fact, can I show it from far enough back that you can't read the actual... Yeah. So see, I've just got those clouds, and then a little bit over here. Yeah. Alright. And then I worked on Storytime. And I did good old Ebenezer. So there's Ebenezer Scrooge. I filled in the building above with just more building, and then I got sort of a blue silvery gray, or a blue gray to be in between here. I did little French knots for the snowflakes again. And then I did a little bit of blending filament on the snow. It's not really showing up too much. The big change was I made the, changed the candle to a gravestone because he likes that part of the story. So it says ES for Ebenezer Scrooge. And then I took away his smile, so he's just sort of like, I'm Ebenezer Scrooge. Because this is in the first part of the story, I think. So there we go. So we've got it a fourth of the way done. So this month I will be doing September and October squares. So those are coming next. Alright, so that's all of the whip updates. So I guess we'll do paper dolls now. So we'll do our Oz for the week. Okay, so these are from Whitman. I actually think I have 2 of these. I just don't know where the second one is. It may just be packed up somewhere. But these were done by Whitman at the same time as that coloring book. It was 79 cents. And you get, of course, Dorothy and Scarecrow, Tin Man and Lion. And, you know, unfortunately for the story of The Wizard of Oz, there's really not a lot of wardrobe changes. So they usually have to make up wardrobes for the characters. So in this case, you get, of course, Dorothy's traditional dress and the Scarecrow's traditional hat. But you get a random dress that she can wear with a munchkin, and a red hood, and a sweater for Toto. And then you get an interesting hat to match that jacket for the Scarecrow. You know, and then you get some more interesting outfits for Dorothy, and one for the Tin Man, and another one for Dorothy, and another one for the Scarecrow, where I guess he gets to be a hobo. I think that's Scarecrow. Yeah, it's Scarecrow. You can get fancy duds for the Lion, a crown. And then you get pajamas for all of them. Dorothy has a pillow that's the map of the U.S. for whatever reason, and Lion has a nightgown, and Scarecrow has a bathrobe, and weird straw legs. And, Tin Man carries a bottle of oil to bed. So, there you go. Wizard of Oz Paper Dolls, number 1. You will see a set from the 80s that's mostly centered around Dorothy. We can see how many Sundays they are. So you've got that set. There's the Wonderful Cutouts, which you'll see. Those are very straightforward. There is a set from a couple of years back that uses the Dinslow illustrations. And then the last ones, which I'm holding for the day before Halloween, are just bizarre as hell. And that is the only way to put it. So, look forward to that. Anyhow, I guess that's really kind of it. I hope everyone has a great week, and I will see you all next week.